All right, welcome back. It's another episode of Discovering Foundational Truths. My name is John Lemus.
Director Mula.
Hussein Ambroa.
Basically, why we got together is whenever you're struggling in an area, it's usually that you don't know the truth that God has set up in that area. The questions that I start with is to kind of open up your heart and make you think a little bit stronger than just using your mind to answer the question. Today's basic title was going to be 4 levels of business building. So there's different levels you can actually transact at, where if you move up the level, the value of your business is going to move up also. So my first question to you guys, and I'll answer it too myself, why did you decide to start your own business? So think about, why did you decide to start your own business?
For me, the reason why I decided to start my own business is because I knew that my life is not a 9-to-5 life.
Okay,
I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody. I knew that I wanted my own freedom. I knew that I wanted my own time. And
so you did have jobs before.
Oh, I definitely had jobs before. I had
Okay.
multiple jobs, and if
Yeah.
we can name them, it's my first job ever was at a beauty supply store. Believe it or not.
Okay.
I mean, I got a lot of honeys from that.
I see it work.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
No.
I worked at a post office delivering mail. I worked for nonprofits. I did I carried packages for this factory or warehouse. So I've done multiple jobs. I just knew that I didn't want to be subjected to somebody else's time. Also, I just didn't want to do the same thing over and over again. I'm a person that I like to start something and see the finish, and then start something all over again. I have that creative
Mindset.
urge. Is it not urge? That just to be the drive to just create and finish something.
Okay. So why did you decide to start your own business?
I could say from my point of view, the first day I went to work, I really didn't want to be there. So,
Yeah.
and that's when I decided this ain't for me.
So you had one job?
I have several jobs.
Several
I
jobs,
did,
yeah. Okay.
But I never liked it a job anyways.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was just, I had to be at one place for 8 hours every day. It didn't make no sense to me.
Okay.
So I just decided to do my own thing.
Yeah, I've actually had multiple jobs also growing up, obviously. I did kind of figure out as I got older that the job is basically to teach you a skill. You know, you take that skill, move it into your business. Still currently employed, you know what I mean, with teaching, but obviously teaching is what you make it, you know what I mean? So it's not like you're expected to do the same thing all the time. So, but that, the business taught a lot of stuff though, you know what I mean, as far as, I don't know, time management, all that stuff, because you still have a lot of time, constraints when you own a business.
I think with jobs it's just supposed to teach you management skills, grab whatever, because all that stuff you take, you put it towards your business. The only thing is when you start your own business, you want freedom, you want to buy back your time, right? So, and if you're a creative person, and some people love that, having that schedule, that 9 to 5, and they love that security,
That regimented, yeah.
yeah, and I think that's what differentiates people that love security and people that don't.
Yeah. All right, second question. What advice would you give to someone just starting their own business, and what worked and what didn't work with yours? So what advice would you give them if they wanted to start a business? What do you think?
Sheesh.
Doesn't matter what it is. Say they're starting a business in your field.
I mean, as I look at it, as you understand, life is the humans are consumers. Just in general, what is something that you consume every day?
Okay.
And once you figure out something that you consume and something that everybody else consumes, you can start off in that subject.
Okay. So it's kind of find a problem to solve.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's mine. I'm leaning towards what he's saying. I think the mistake that I've made is going to business into my hobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
So looking at general, you have to look at the general population. What does the general population mostly consume? Because you need to be in a business where more people need that rather than specific type of people, right? So you can serve more people. And then you can just do your hobby as your hobby and have fun with that. But in terms of business, like choose a business that can serve more people.
Okay.
What
That'll allow
about
you
you?
to expand.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of the things that I would tell somebody starting a new business is that a lot of the heavy lifting is at the beginning
Yeah.
because you have to kind of build a solid foundation. That way, when you try to scale, you got to have a big foundation. Yeah, it isn't like trying to escape work because there's going to be work no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
But all work works. It either works on you or works
It's better
for you.
for yourself though.
Yeah, but at least you're building something that you actually can own at
Yeah.
one point, or you can
Simple as
sell.
that.
So I guess one of the things I would actually tell somebody if they start in a business is have an exit plan. Because I mean, one business is not going to necessarily be your whole life. You know what I mean? Find a way that you could build something, you could sell the value of it, or, you can reproduce it, like franchise it. If you do that, then like I said, with that exit plan, then, you can move on to something else if you want to change. So, okay. So how does your business look different now versus when you first started? So have you grown?
For sure.
So how's your business look now different than when you first started?
I mean, my clientele is definitely bigger than it used to be.
Okay, so you're servicing more people.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
And I got more cars as well. So,
okay,
and I mean business partners in the business as well, because all the vehicles that I rent is not all my vehicles.
okay. So you're saying you've made relationships?
Yeah, with other people, and
Yeah.
we
Okay.
have a partnership so we can make a profit all together.
Okay. How's your business look now different than when you first started? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, when I first started, I just thought it was cool to just have an LLC.
Okay.
But like right now, it's like this can really work, right? Because I just tried it to just see what I can do, and now I'm in like, okay, this can really work, and I'm trying to expand and trying to introduce new things and try to buy back more time for me. So it's just building, and making connections, having specific like clientele that you can serve, for a very long time.
Okay. So yeah, just building those relationships.
Yeah.
With the dog business that I do have a lot of repeat customers now. So I guess building it and servicing it at a different level, provides chances for them to come back. So we're going to talk about those actual different levels that you actually transact at in a business. Servicing more people for sure. Like I said, I've talked to my wife and tried to build capacity and try to, because if you're selling dogs, it's like you got to have dogs to sell. You know what I mean? So I'm like, everything gets pregnant. You know what I mean? That's the idea. So it's obviously bringing on more work, so hopefully there'll be enough work coming on that she's going to put, like a worker to work, basically. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So next question. How do you set your business apart from others in your industry? So how are you different than other people doing sort of the same thing in your industry? Or are you different? Or are you the same?
For sure. I mean, I won't say. From my point of view, a lot of car rental business are not just local; they're everywhere. So one thing, expanding the car business, you definitely have to be more everywhere, like at every airport, every international airport, just all the kinds of places. But if you're just local, you're only making money in one area.
Okay.
So, in my business, that's the difference.
So are you local or are you?
I'm local.
Okay.
I'm local.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
staying local right now. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not in the point of view of being everywhere.
Okay. How do you set your business apart from others in your industry?
For me, I thrive in customer satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction. So it's I like to get hands on with my customer and really just when we have something, I want them to be happy about this
With
the
what you
piece that we
provide, yeah.
create.
Okay.
And also like I want them to come back. I don't necessarily, and I think that's probably where I feel like I'm not doing so well is I don't really put like the money and the thing up front. I'm like, okay, if this customer has a budget and like I invest in my own outside of the time I invest in my own money to make sure like this is the vision that the customer wanted and we're getting it, we're cranking it out there. And it's probably gonna pay in the long run or probably won't. But as for right now, I'm focused on their satisfaction and making sure like their vision comes to life how they want it.
Okay. How do I set my business apart from others in our industry? Well, my wife, I give her a lot of freedom as far as going to show the dogs and stuff. So she markets like crazy. She has a good product, you know, because she's basically just breeding from the show dogs. And trying to think what else. Huh. That's about it. I just, like I said, I try and take all the pressure off of her with different stuff at the house so she could kind of build, because it's her stuff anyway. So, all right. So, how did you market your business when it was brand new?
I don't think I marketed my business with this brand.
Not real well, huh?
Not really well. I mean, that's and that's to be expected. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna work, right? So I just kind of be like, let me get an LLC, LKF, films, and just see, where it takes me. And really, there's some point where like if I do a project, I wasn't even putting my my
Your name
brand
on
on
it,
it, right? And honestly, it's like if I didn't think the project represented me enough in with my skills and my perfection, what do you call it?
Talents.
Just how perfect I wanted to be.
Perfectionism.
But my
Yeah.
perfectionism, and like, I'm not putting my name on that. So,
Okay.
so it's just I didn't do it so well, and I think that's one of those things that I need to work on too as a business owner, is marketing, and just knowing to promote and it's fine. I'm
See, the
learning.
reason why I'm asking this is because most people try to sell to people that don't really necessarily have a whole interest in what you have to sell. But the problem, or the thought process is, there's probably thousands, tens of thousands, almost millions of people out there that want to buy what you have to sell.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to market. You have to be able to put yourself out there. Because right now you're trying to convert people to want to buy your product. And that's not really how sales is. You know what I mean? It's not, you're trying to just provide a service to people that actually already want what you have, but they don't know you. So marketing is a real important part, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, is that knowing the people that are interested in, like, how do you find out? Like,
It's called your field of interest, and that basically what it is a lot of times they have groups. People on Facebook and stuff. I mean, like I said, there's a new way of marketing. We used to just pay an advertisement and put it in the newspaper. You know, now it's you actually find the blog, or you find a group of people that are interested in that, and then when you're part of that group, then there's a bunch of people that want your product. So did you market your business when it was brand new?
I could say on Turo. Then I made my own website, and I use Facebook a lot as well.
Okay.
So those are three
Those are the
things I
ways you did?
started. Yeah.
I'm trying to think back when we first started with dogs. How did we market?
probably-
Basically word of mouth. Like I said, I guess once she started showing the dogs and that people, were getting beat on by her. I mean, they want that type of product, and so that's how they kind of marketed itself. Now she actually markets on Facebook marketing and stuff, and so there's different things she's actually trying to do, which is good. All right. How do you leverage networking or advertising or social media for your business? How do you leverage networking, advertising, or social media for your business? Do you leverage it? Do you leverage your networking, advertising, or social media?
I mean, I believe so, because if anybody says, "Well, can I see your work?" Obviously, that's the website, but a lot of the leverage is through social media, like mostly Instagram, because it's short reels and people can just go and see that. And not only that, like, as I'm telling this customer, they also become a follower on that page as well. Creating
Yeah, like a base of
more,
follower
like,
base.
exactly
Yeah.
like a base following, so that whenever I post some more, they can see some of my stuff that I do. So absolutely.
So you don't do any advertising.
No, I've
Not
done
really.
only one advertisement for like 5 days, and
Didn't do a lot.
it didn't do a lot. I think I probably gained like what, 300 to like 400 followers.
Okay.
That's something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and but
it
it
can-
wasn't the followers that I wanted, right?
I mean,
it's
I
not-
understand,
sometimes
but
they
you
ain't the
gotta
right ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
gotta
that's
look at
the
it
only
as-
thing that I've done. But
Word of
I
mouth
could do more.
can definitely
Yeah,
because
I've got more business word of mouth than online.
understood, but
Yeah.
the internet can move faster than your mouth.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, people that are consuming on
I'm
the
just
internet.
saying, yeah.
So do you ever leverage networking, advertising, or social media?
I could say, I mean, networking. I could say like when I meet a lot of my clients, I definitely try to give them my business card, or definitely trying to see who they are or how valuable they are. Another thing is like what's it called? What is it called? The reviews.
Right.
Looking at they seeing my reviews, making sure that. But anybody renting anything, they're always going to look at your reviews,
Absolutely. Before
making
they
sure
even try,
before they
yeah.
get anything.
Okay. Networking. Well, my wife networks every weekend.
Yeah.
She's at shows like
That's
all the
good.
time.
Yeah,
She goes. She's
You
actually
guys
on.
don't have like
she's on the
digital,
board.
Network like.
Yeah, she has a web page,
Okay.
and she actually networks or she advertises on, like I said, that Facebook or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she does a lot of that stuff. I don't mess with it myself. But all right, what is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur? What you
The
think?
months that you make zero.
We
we understand those
It's the
times.
downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really
Yeah.
it. I think, and also that's like a driving force, right? Yeah, some months you're doing great, some weeks you're doing great, and some weeks you're not doing so great. But I think that is supposed to stimulate your mind to like come up with new ways to,
yeah.
to get it in,
creative.
and to serve more people. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying right now, I'm in my downtime, but I've wrote but probably like 2 scripts and just trying to think of ways to just get more creative and work with more people.
Okay.
Yeah.
What qualities do you think an entrepreneur should possess? What's some qualities that you have that you think it keeps you, not running back to a job?
I could say time management, and I know how to organize your schedule. Because once you understand how to organize your schedule, you know where to be at any time. And then money management skills. That's definitely the biggest thing in that business. So if you don't know how to manage any money, you're gonna just earn it and you're gonna go spend it. So that's just one of the biggest problems with entrepreneurs.
So time and money.
I think for me is determination and belief.
Okay.
Like if you're determined, that's like that okay, this
Committed.
is it. Yeah, committed. You're like, this is it. I'm not looking back, because if you're like you start something and it doesn't work for the first couple of months or weeks, you're like, it's not it. It's like you didn't even know you're almost there,
Yeah.
and like you got to start all over again. So it's just being committed to your business, and then believing in yourself. Like this is what God brought you here for.
Okay. Yeah, there's a biggest thing about entrepreneurs. A lot of times they'll start something.
Yep.
It's like a Toro. You have a honeymoon phase where you make some money, do other things,
Yeah.
but then when you run into a wall,
Yeah.
maybe cars break down or, you have an accident or something, then you're like, oh, this just ain't worth it. So I'll start something new. Now I'll do network marketing, you'll get that honeymoon phase again. You feel like you're doing well. And then, like I said, you have to be able to push through
Yeah, definitely.
push through that wall and stick with whatever you're trying to do, because obviously the rewards after, what's going on. All right. How have you grown personally from becoming an entrepreneur? How have you grown personally? Do you feel like you're a stronger person? Do you feel like you're smarter? Do you feel like you're more in control of your life?
Yeah, for sure. Life-wise, more control.
You got more control?
Yeah, for sure. At time, I mean, when I didn't have much, they was control of my time. So
I hear you on that.
now I control my time. So that's the biggest thing that ever happened to me in my point
Okay,
of
so
view.
you got control.
Yeah.
How have you grown personally?
I would say, yeah, I think it's just more control of, when you can work and just controlling your schedule, controlling your time. I think that's it. In terms of growth, I mean, I've always knew how to deal with people, but I think the growth that I got is how do you, because sometimes you do get some stupid customers.
Not all customers are for you.
Yes.
You
Just
can't
because they
please
got money
everybody.
doesn't mean, yeah, well, it
I
doesn't
had
mean.
to. I think last year we talked about this subject, and I had to actually call people, and be like, I can't work with you because it just is not
Just ain't
working
right.
out.
Yeah.
And it's bad, but it's good at the same time because that's like there could be customers that are holding you back as well. Um, and if that wasn't it, it's probably you holding you. yourself back.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think that's the like being. I think it's being an adult about everything, and just being upfront. Um, because a lot of people don't really like to be upfront and honest,
Yeah.
and
Well, they're
as
not
a
honest
bus-
with themselves. So it's
yeah.
hard to, yeah.
But as business, you have to. It's for the future, so yeah.
This one might be a funny question because we don't need, none of us have this too much. What do you look for when you outsource or you hire somebody outside of your business? What do you look for?
I'm always looking for somebody better than me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna find no one better than you. So
No,
you
I'm
won't.
talking about in that specific skill because a lot of people in my field, this is the advice that they always give me. So talking to David Fincher, talking to Tobias Sillisler, if they're hiring director of photography, they're hiring gaffers, they're always hiring people that are smarter than them in that area, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not about your ego. It's about making sure that the customer
product is
gets
the
the
best,
best, piece that they paid for. And
Okay.
it's okay to have somebody that is better than you in every aspect so they can help you bring the thing together. You can't hire people that are below you and then like when it comes to bringing a piece together, like they're asking you for questions and like now
Nothing wrong with that.
you're like micromanaging, right? But
Yeah,
you
well,
need to
that's
have
how it- that's
somebody
how
that
it
can give you,
starts. Yeah.
can give you ideas. But absolutely hiring somebody that's out better than you, but in terms of like aspect, like they know this better than you, so but they're like there to help, and that's what a lot of people actually do in my field.
What you think? As far as what do you look for if you try to hire somebody or you're outsourcing, jobs you don't want to do yourself?
I mean, most likely I look for somebody that can do it like me, from a point of view, and somebody that's dedicated to what needs to be done. Because I don't have time to be managing somebody that's supposed to be the manager. So I need to hire the manager, train the manager, and after that, he can hire the employees and all that stuff.
Okay. All right. What will you never compromise on with your business?
Never.
What will you never compromise on?
What do you mean by never compromise?
If you
on?
don't compromise, means it has to be done this way to put out the product. What
For
would you-
me, it's quality.
yeah. So you're never gonna compromise on your quality.
Nope.
Okay. What are you never gonna compromise on in your business?
I look at it as so many ways of doing things. Compromise is not there.
So you're compromising all the time. That means you change. You know what I mean?
For sure. I look at it, yeah, definitely changing wise. Because there's so many ways to do, things. So
Yeah,
do
what
it
I
a
was
whole
telling
bunch
you
of
is
ways.
like when you don't compromise on certain things, it may hold you back or it may put you in a different level. Just depends on what you're doing.
I mean, what do you don't compromise in your business?
As far as like when we're screening people to actually buy the dogs, I mean, she actually has a list of questions you have to answer, and if there's any red flags there, she's gonna call you back and say, yeah, it's probably not for you, because just because you have the money doesn't mean that's who we're gonna deal with. You know what I mean? Because you get involved with some, there's a lot of people out there. If you don't provide exactly what you're saying, and they want to, lawsuits and that kind of stuff. So I would not compromise on our level of, I guess, just checking out the person, and making sure that they, provide what we think the dog needs when they get to the house, So
So you don't compromise.
Do not compromise on that. No.
Yeah, I mean,
because when
that's-
you do, then you're inviting a lot of other problems.
I mean,
Just like you. I mean,
yeah, I
when
only
you
compromise.
provide a different product to just because this guy's paying a little more, you give him a better product. Then they can compare and say, "Well, I want that, but you didn't pay this." And like I said, you're just creating your own issues.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
to me, it's just in terms of quality. I am like, okay, I'm shooting with a red Komodo, and that's it. But like depending on their budget, if they can afford more setups, more this, and of course. But in terms of just like quality, I don't compromise that because that's more like it's gonna show my expertise, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where I shine. Quality.
Okay. All right. This one's going to get into more of an ethical question. So, describe a situation where you faced an ethical dilemma at work, and how did you resolve it? So, ethical means like something that could be a little bit questionable in what you are doing. I remember a story you told me about some young female. I remember that one.
Which one? Because
Then you say
Say which
some lady said that you were like, I don't know, harassing her or something. Was that you or no? It might have been someone else I was talking to
at work.
at a job, and I don't know if it was, maybe not.
At work, not like
I
in my
wasn't trying
business.
to air no dirty laundry. I was just saying that's the idea. That's the questioning. Like say at my work, I'll start with me. As a teacher, there was another male teacher in our building that was actually questioned on his ethical behavior, with a librarian. And I actually went to court, and kind of supported him, saying how she was kind of flirting with him. And then I guess she went crazy and said, well, he did this. Whether it happened or not, that's not what I was there at the trial for. I was just trying to kind of stick up for him and talk about his character and all that kind of stuff.
It's like defending something.
Yeah, it was defending his character, his honor,
yeah.
but he still ended up losing his teacher's license because he was convicted of sexual harassment.
Sheesh.
Oh yeah, it's not a joke. I mean, so a lot of business owners will have things where like they won't go in an elevator with one other person if it's a female.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like they're gonna have somebody else with them. That way, you're always same with with children.
Yeah.
I don't go to my office and just pull the door shut if I'm talking to a female. I mean, the door's wide open. Cameras are on the door. Like I said,
I mean, at this point in age, even if you're with a guy, the door should
doesn't matter. No, that's what I'm saying. I was just
serious.
saying. Originally, it was only girl and guy. Yeah, but now you're right.
He said originally.
Originally, no, you're right. But I'm saying you just shouldn't be one-on-one with anybody because then it's your word against theirs.
No, it's when I work. Oh, I think.
Yeah.
I'm talking. It could be like it
Yeah.
could be like stealing money. It could be there's different things that could happen.
Yeah. No, it's when I was working at Channel 4, there was like some things. I think it got like misconstrued, and the whole thing was like stupid.
Right in your mind.
And yeah, of course, in my mind,
Yeah.
It started weird. It was like more, it was just stupid.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like it didn't pan out how. It panned out great for me,
Okay.
but life goes on.
So did you have a situation where you had an ethical dilemma at work or no?
Nah. I mean, the only time somebody pressed me when we was at the movie theaters. You remember when we was at the movie? No, I mean, she pressed.
That lady you
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah. Okay.
That's the only time I think ever somebody ever pressed me in my
Oh
life.
yeah, I thought for sure.
Because I was really going to fuck her up.
Yeah. I'm like, we going to jail. We going to jail. No, okay.
I mean, they would have let you out quickly.
Yeah, I don't even know this guy.
No, it's like we were talking. Can y'all please be quiet?
Yeah. See, straight to his face. Yeah. Oh man. All
And
right.
we're not like loud. We're just
Yeah.
talking.
All right.
one-on-one.
Share your perspective on accepting gifts or incentives from clients or vendors. What you think? Is it a good thing, bad thing to accept gifts or incentives from your clients or your vendors?
Ain't nothing wrong
I
with
think
that.
so because they're showing appreciation beyond, because I think you created or you gave them a product that they beyond expectation, and it's a reward.
Okay.
It's definitely a reward. It's just as much as some people incent to give money. Like if you have a base budget and you exceed the expectation, they give you more money, and that has happened to me multiple times.
Giving a tip. That's all.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
giving a
it.
tip.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see where you guys' mind is on that one. That's good. That's where you want your mind to be.
Yeah.
All right. What measures would you implement to prevent conflicts of interest in a team you're leading? So, what measures would you implement to prevent conflicts of interest in a team you're leading? Say you have a team of 4 or 5 working on a project. What kind of implements would you, or what kind of concepts would you implement?
I mean, some rules that you implement.
Yeah. What are some rules?
I'm not really good at making rules.
Not a rules person.
Yeah, not really. I'm not saying I like breaking them, but
I don't mind. I think rules are made to be broke.
yeah, for sure. But
The more rules you make, the more rule breakers you make.
I only make rules when things happen. That's when I only because I feel like everybody's, especially when we're all adults, everybody knows how to be an adult.
Okay.
I mean, but when something happens, that's when we got to stop and make a rule.
I think one of the biggest things I would do is like when I'm in a team, like a bunch of teachers or something like that, as long as I treat everybody equal and not show, kind of, I don't know, favoritism, that would actually create issues. So same thing with children, I give them the benefit of the doubt, understand that their behaviors are what they are. It's not personal between them and me,
Yeah, for me, I think rules kind of restrict people, even in terms of, because a lot of people are scared of rules. But
so we shouldn't have any rules.
no, I'm not saying we should. There's difference between rules and guidelines, right? Because if you look at there's guidelines for you to follow to be a better human. There's guidelines. I'm not saying there's rules and there's things that you just know that are wrong. Those shouldn't even be a rule because you already know they're wrong, right?
You think everybody knows something's wrong?
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Common
But like the
sense.
thing is, the choice that they make, they're like, okay, I'm not
ignoring it.
like depending on whatever situation. Like if Liam, you kill somebody, that's wrong.
Killing's definitely one of them.
Yeah. Even like other things, is wrong. I mean, if you do something and some people, maybe there's some people who are just have that devil mindset, but I'm talking about in terms of if you're like in a group and you're working, you're like there's A, B, and C, and like people can't cross B, then you're restricting that person's mindset or like ways to come up with another idea. It's just like as training. If you train somebody, it's like, okay, these are the rules that we're supposed to follow, and this is how you're supposed to do things. Now that person can't think of any way because they're like, okay, well, I got to go by the rules, right? So those are just like the things that I feel like, not really. But in terms of if I'm leading, a team, or if like we're in a team, and just like what you said, respect everybody, treat everybody equally. And if I'm leading the team, or like I make a decision and I stay on it. I can't go back and forth because that's also gonna create
tension. Yeah,
yeah. Because like you said, this to this.
Because if you don't have any rules,
exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. So have you ever encountered corruption in the workplace, and what actions did you take?
Walk away. Ain't none of my business. I'm gonna keep it real.
So if you own the company,
what about
I own the company.
If it's someone in your business.
Oh yeah, and that ain't no wrong. We handle that. Yeah, because that's called that fucking up my money.
Yeah. I hear you.
So
have you ever encountered corruption in the workplace? Has anybody ever messed up your money?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're in that point of view is just let's figure out the best way to solve it for right now. We handle the rest later. Okay. I mean, realistically, what's the issue? Let's solve the issue at this moment. Then, if we need to talk more often, if you want to talk about it, again another time, we can go about that. But we need to keep on, making.
I mean, imagine if like, and this is gonna go back to like, don't make a temporary decision.
Don't make a permanent decision on a temporary issue.
Yeah. So if it's like one of your best person, right? And they come and steal from you. So now, and this person built the company with you, right?
Right.
So
it's over in Wavy's point.
But if you don't even know if they're going through stuff, right?
Oh, well,
that's okay. He's best to tell me because I'm a point of view is
he might live.
I'll put some money aside for you.
He might live.
Don't mean like, but you got to go. Because once you steal some money, now you can you're
a thief.
Yeah, you're a thief for sure. Yeah. I mean, but like you always say, one way you do one thing is one way you do everything. So realistically, you're gonna be if you betray me that way, you're gonna betray me another way in the point of view. So But yeah, in that sense, I'll kick him out, and I'll be the one who's working that day. And
See, I'm coming in that day.
Yeah, okay, I come in to work that day.
So,
And
like, Liam, what is one thing like for you that is it's a no for, like in your business? If somebody does something for you, that's a no. Because like, what is you have moral standard, you have morals, values, and standards, right? What is something that, like, immorally, like you can't accept in your business?
just life in general.
Yeah, as far as the dogs, or the teaching, what do you think? I accept a lot of stuff as a teacher, but I got strong shoulders. I can accept misbehaviors. I can accept even teachers acting a fool sometimes. But yeah, as far as the business, once you show your colors, then it's not time to repaint you. So say you buy a dog from me and you say, well, this happened, and it could be on you or it could be on me. Basically what it is that's probably the last time we're going to deal. You know what I mean? That it's just, like I said, once you bring something to my attention, it's my choice, what I do with it, and just like Wavy, the loyalty is huge with me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I will, if say you get a dog and, the vet checks them, my vet checks, your vet checks, and it dies in 6 months or something like that, you're going to get a dog replacement. You know what I mean? And it says on the contract, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But I will do that just because that's just the way we are, but that doesn't mean necessarily you won't get that dog and all of a sudden that dog has some issue again. And,
No,
I'm not
no.
going to keep,
Hey, once it happened once, it
yeah,
won't
I'm
happen
going to have to let it
twice.
keep repeating.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get tripped up by the same issue, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the 4 levels of business building? Okay, the 4 levels I'm going to talk about today. So we're moving into the kind of the content. Yeah. The transactional level, which mostly everybody does, it's all
Everybody
about
wants
Money.
I'm saying that I'm saying. All right, I'm gonna get into it.
Yeah.
The second level is educational level. The third level is relational, and the fourth level is transformational. So the idea of your business, you have to move from transactional, educational, into the relational and the transformational. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
I'm more interested. I like the two things that I feel like I need to understand more. Is the
Transactional?
No, not that. The second one.
Transformational.
Transformational.
Okay.
What does that mean, right?
Yeah,
change
we're gonna
of your
get into
business.
all 4 of them.
and
make
then
it grow.
the third one is the relationship.
Yeah, relational.
It's like
Relational,
networking.
Yeah, I think those are like the things that I feel like.
So those 2 things, when you move, you're supposed to do business at 80% level in the transformational and relational.
Yeah.
20% has to do with the transactional and educational.
Yeah.
When you get it mixed up, is you put the 80% up, or just about the money, or just about you educating a person that they need what you have.
Yeah.
If you're only focused on that, then you become almost like a car salesman. You're kind of forcing it down their throat.
I mean, me, I'm more about. I don't really like I said earlier. I don't really like care for the money. If like you have a budget, I always ask people, "What is your budget?" and see if it works within my constraints, right? So because I'm trying to work with everybody and give everybody a chance. Is it great? I don't know.
We're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about transactional. Okay, the natural outcome with providing, it's basically you're providing value to that person. So you're making a transaction with that person. The first area of the transactional is I need to make money. So when you're hyper focused on your needs, your business is not going to grow. All right. Making money is actually a result of something. It's not the end result of what you want.
You have
If it's the end result of what you want, then you're holding yourself back.
You have to create value.
Yeah, you have to create the value. Okay, the second part, first one, to be transactional, you have to be in, I need this money. The second part is, I have a great product, service, or opportunity. Okay, when you're sitting there trying to sell your thing, tell them how great your stuff is, first of all, they don't care.
Absolutely.
Okay, what they care about is how are you going to fix their problem? When you start to hyper focus on fixing their problem, that's when you start understanding how to deal with that customer. So actually, people feel that they have to disagree with you to get engaged in a conversation. A lot of times you'll say, well, I have this great product. It costs this much. The first thing they're going to say is, well, that's too much. This person sells it for this much. Like I said, when you're working transactionally, there's really not much business going on. It's more kind of like you're confronting
Back and
issues.
forth,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just a back and forth thing. Okay,
So
go ahead.
how do you?
I'm gonna move to how do you move out of this to get into what you want when we go into relational.
Okay.
Yeah. So if that's your question. So first one is I need to make money. Second one is I have a great product, service, or opportunity. Remember, no one cares. The third one is I am the most qualified. So you justify with validation. Well, I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm the best person. They don't care nothing about that. What they care about is
Your
can
service.
you serve their issue?
For
But
sure.
the thing is, society has been taught that the more experience you have, the more qualified you are.
You could be doing the same thing
Yeah.
for 20 years and never get better.
That's
the
true.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
like I said, if you have to justify with your validation,
Yeah.
you're only basically talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You're trying to make them change their mind on something. You can't change their mind.
No, but I'm saying, think about it. If you were to go get a job right now,
Mm-hmm.
in that specific job, they're gonna be like, "How many years of experience do you have in this
That's
job?"
because most people stay in this transactional.
Exact- that's what I was
Absolutely,
trying to prove.
All jobs, because they're going to argue right away. Oh, how much you want to make per hour? You know, you say $20. They say, oh, I don't really pay 15.
Yeah.
Like I said, whenever
they
you're
like-
transactional, it's just the way you're going to be. So I'm the most qualified. People resist doing transactional business with transactional people because it's almost like a professional salesman. Okay, you're talking them into something they don't need, they don't want, can't afford because you need that money. Okay, and that's kind of the end of the transactional part. You want to get away from transaction. Obviously, at the end of your experience with a client, there's going to be a transaction. But you can't make that the biggest part of your experience with that client. If you do, you're not going to build a client base. You're not going to have them repeat buyers. You're not, it's going to feel kind of dirty as you're doing it. It's who say the used car salesman, says, well, costs $2,000. You say, well, I only got 1,000, and he goes, well, about 1,500, and they just keep battling back and forth.
until you come.
One
to an
person's
agreement.
always going to win, one's going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, that's transactional, and that's not how you want to do business. Okay, that's how everybody starts, but that isn't. If you want to get better, service more people, you got to understand there's levels to it.
But you have to like make say if you have the product, for
Mm-hmm.
example, your dog, you have a base, or do you kind of fluctuate depending on the customer, or you like we're selling for 35, right, 100, and that's it, right? Because I feel like if you're
So when somebody calls and says I need 2,000, I'm like, there are breeders out there that are going to give you a $2,000 dog.
Okay.
This ain't the one.
Yeah.
You have to. I'm telling you, your no becomes more important than your yes.
no, for sure, and that's
Because
what
when
I've
you
been
start
practicing.
underselling yourself, then you start believing that's all you're worth.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, when you keep your sort of hard lines on certain things, people will come. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there that will pay $10,000 per dog. Okay, we're just not quite ready for that yet, but I'm sure we could be real soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first level is transactional. You got to get out of that transactional idea or keep it to 20% or less of your business time with your client. Second one is educational. So in educational, this means the first one is I need you to think I know. So if I'm trying to prove to you that I know something that you don't know in a business or trying to sell it that way, it's not going to work. The second one is I need them to know. So it's never a really good thing talking about your solution. It's like you're not really selling your solution. You're actually talking to the person, trying to see what problem they have.
Yeah.
And then you're going to tell them about value you can provide to them. Not necessarily this is a solution. This is the only solution you can buy. I'm the only one that can fix this problem. Like I said, when you do that, that's like a big no-no. So how do you know what they need when you're dealing with a client? How do you know what they need? You got to ask them. Okay, so a lot of the conversation when you're talking to a client is allowing them to speak, because when you allow them to speak, they're going to tell you what they need. They're going to tell you what their problem is, and it's going to give you a lot of information to try and solve what they need. And that's how you kind of do it. The last one, educational, is they need to know what you're doing. Their life gets better when they know what they need. So obviously, an educated client's the best type of client, because if you're selling a high product or high service or high money, prospect, the more they know about that and the more they know the value in that, the better off you're going to be. But still not the best way to deal. You're still dealing with it a little bit, but so really the answer is to try to give a person the best value is obsessing over other people's problems long enough to figure out what their problems are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to figure out what their problems are. And a lot of it has to do with just talking and communicating and networking and figuring out, what you're going to provide. So we need to educate the clients in the right way, in the right sequence, and over the right things. And your life will get better when you know what's going on. So educationally is part of the sales kind of pitch with the client. Mm-hmm. But like I said, between educational and transactional, that should only be like 10 and 10. It should only be 20%.
So educational, just basically telling them, what do you provide, and
but keep it short.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, what I'm saying, because
the services you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing is they got to know what you have, but when you make that 100% of your pitch, you have lost the person. You know what I mean? Because like I said, now they know you're an expert in the field, but that doesn't mean they're going to buy from you.
Yeah.
Why they buy from you is these other two things. Okay, relational is I need good people in my life. Okay, we need people in our lives to contribute and not just to consume. Okay, so when you're working on relational and you're building relationships with your clients, you got to understand that they're just not, you don't need just consumers. You need somebody that can produce, like the one lady we just sold to that just flew in from San Diego. Mm-hmm. She took a bunch of business cards and she said, I got a bunch of these people that want these little dogs, Like I said, that's the type of person you want to deal with and understand that she's going to provide more, substance to, than just consuming your dog, basically. Not that she's going to eat the dog. No, it's all. Consuming, meaning like buying the dog and just that's where the transaction.
Yeah,
is.
we understand English.
All right. I'm not even going to say it because if I'd have said it, I probably got canceled.
Yeah.
Okay, I need good people to bring good things into my life. Okay, it's wow, like how many doctors, how many, professionals come. Like I said, the one person was a philanthropist that flew in on an airplane, from New York City on her own jet.
G5.
Yeah, it's like those type of people you need to deal with, and you can't deal with them selling the dog at $1,000. Mm-hmm. You're not. They're not even going to come. They're like, no, it's not enough.
It's not even my gas.
Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, you can't even pay gas for that. But I'm saying she just, like I said, your value is going to be determined by who you deal with. And who you deal with is going to be determined by your value.
Hold on. So she flew from New York and bought one dog, or she bought two?
Just one dog.
I guess it makes sense because if she flew in a G5,
she probably wrote it off. She probably said that she had a
No, I'm just saying, he's saying from a gas point of view.
Because you're looking at that's
the gas
like $1,500.
Yeah, the gas.
New York,
gas is an extra expense. She already paid for the dog $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah,
and then she paid for her plane, and she had 7 or 8 people on that plane, flying with her.
Yeah.
So like I said,
we did some gas stuff at the.
Oh, okay.
They said it was $5,000.
We professional at that.
Well, now gas prices, man. For my stupid RV to move from here to Ohio, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need good people to bring good things into my life. I need to bring good things to the relationships. Okay, I need a good person. I need to be a good person in other people's lives. Okay, we talked about this before, relational capital.
Yeah, your value.
Yeah, so your value or what you provide for other people will come back for you. You can kind of, pull on that resource. And somebody that you've dealt with over for 20 years, you can use them as what do you call that? Testimonies, for your company or whatever. So, so those 3 things: I need good people in my life. I need good people to bring good things into my life. I need a good person. I need to be a good person in other people's lives. So that's when you start working relationally. Okay, when you work relationally, that's the first level where you start working more spiritually. And like I told you before, wealth is a spiritual concept. Mm-hmm. It's not a physical concept. If you state transactional, educational, that's physical. Okay, and if you want to build
a question for you though. And going back to if somebody that is not ready, right? And obviously nobody can do things by themselves. You need company. You need somebody to like help you with everything else. If you try to do everything by yourself, it's not gonna work. So how do you deal with people that are not ready to to go to the next stage, and like how do you deal with that? So for example, your wife is not ready to take it to the next level or hire some people. So how do you deal with that in terms of like the dog? How do you deal with that? And it's so easy to take it to the next step, right? It's so easy to hire people, sell the dogs for $6,000 a piece. Like what would be your game plan? And and are you okay? Are you content with just staying at 3,500?
Well, my game plan's already in route. Okay, basically, I told her we need to provide as much, dogs we can. That way you get bigger. Now with providing more dogs, there's more work.
Yeah.
she's wearing out
Yeah.
because these dogs have a double coat, and you gotta when you wash them and you brush them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So eventually, her body will break down to the point where she's going to have to hire somebody else.
Oh, that's common sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even me, like I said, as mentally strong as I am, I could do it. But there's days I wake up and I'm like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? But the
You
business
do that every day.
concept. Yeah, it's like I said, you have to move that technician.
Yeah.
That's where you start at, and you're still there. You're
Yeah.
a technician of your business. You got to move to management. You got to move to entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
All three of those people were in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but my three people
gotta-
fighting.
You got to break
You know what
out
I
of
mean?
that.
Yeah, you got to, if you're going to choose one, you want to choose the higher level, the entrepreneurial one, and you got to give up the technicianal part. If you give up the technicianal part, you don't know where that could land you. The managerial part is just trying to make sure the everyday stuff works.
Yeah,
in
it's
your
like
business.
a well-oiled machine, right?
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
But I don't, like I said, I don't want that either. I want to be the entrepreneur.
Yeah, because you don't want. Yeah.
Once you learn things and you move to a different level, it's hard to go backwards.
Yeah.
Just like this year, the one guy that took those 3 coaching positions at Arsenal
Yeah.
is moving on. And I told myself, I don't know if I want to go back to coaching.
Exactly.
I mean, I just don't know. I might do it, but I have to go with a fresh idea, whatever, just different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So
I already got towards the end of my coaching. I wasn't hardly even coaching. I'm having the kids coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because these kids actually are better at soccer than I am.
Ex-
And I can't even move hardly anymore like
Yeah.
that. So I have them doing all the different
The
things.
drills, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good way to do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because they're getting good experience of learning how to lead and learn. Like I said, they're learning a lot more than when me just telling them what to do all the time.
I mean, a lot of the coaches are like that. You do see, like, I was watching Tomlin. You rarely see him throw a ball.
No, that's not what I get paid for. So that's what I'm saying. You're paying me to be an entrepreneur and
That's
give a
impossible.
vision for this thing to go bigger, but now you want me to be the technician. Now you want me to throw the balls.
No.
What? Yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah, the training, the team has so many coaches to do
Yeah.
that.
Well, I don't in the middle school.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I
for
make
sure.
I make the kids the coaches.
Yeah,
But
do
I'm
the
saying
drill.
giving them the drills and giving them the chance for leadership is actually building them way more than me just making them
Understood.
and tell them everything. Okay.
I think that's the thing. Like, I need to get out of the technician.
See,
phase.
once you understand there's 3 phases,
Yeah.
because you already know how to manage stuff too, because you've managed your business
exactly
to the
For
point
so
where
long.
you're at.
Yeah.
But you're only at a point where you can't get any bigger until you move into entrepreneurial, and then, like I said, you have to start delegating, eliminating, or automating those processes before you.
Now, is it wrong to love the technical part of your business?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But you got to go work for somebody if you do that.
Yeah.
Because you need someone doing the managerial part. You need someone doing the entrepreneurial part.
So it's kind of like holding yourself back at some point. You need.
Yeah,
to
you
let
could
it
be the
go.
best technician and you can have your services for 10 different companies and making millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But not if you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can plot you in and pay you for your value. You know what I mean? It's just 2 different things. Okay, and the last one's transformational. Like I said, 80%.
I have one more question.
Go ahead, brother.
So, being paid for your value and being paid for your worth is completely different, correct?
Your value is your worth.
But I think the way you're saying it, so say for example, you're a technician, right? They only pay you for the technical part, but you're worth so
But
much more.
think about if you're a technical person on a Steven Spielberg film,
Yeah.
how much you getting paid? You're getting paid millions because you're the best technician.
Yeah, but you're not the
No, you're not the
you're not the
director. You're not the
manager-
manager. You're
managerial
not the
part.
entrepreneurial.
So-
Steven Spielberg's the entrepreneur. You're not taking his spot.
Yeah.
You're not taking the best director in the whole Hollywood spot. So now, they only hire the best technicians.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're not going to be you're the best technician in your job,
Yeah.
but you're also the best manager and the best entrepreneur. But I'm saying you're not getting paid for those other 2 jobs.
But doesn't that like, so okay, you only valued and your worth is only for that specific things, even though you carry these other 2 things.
You have other skills and other I mean, obviously that makes you a better technician to have those other skills, because you have empathy for the people that do this and do that. You know, you don't just worry about your job and, you know, say that guy just sits in a chair, doesn't do anything, because you've done everything.
I feel like if you worry about other people's stuff, that's like more headache for you. Anyway.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's more headache and it's less, it's, you can't make yourself bigger at that one thing. You know what I mean? Because you're doing too many things. My wife's the same way. She has in her head how to run a dog business, how to advertise, how to, you know, the money. She has all that in her head. Yeah. Once she picks one, she's going to be a beast. If she picks just showing dogs, she'd be a beast. Yeah. She picks, you know, she breeds the dogs, and she, you know, is able to deliver the dogs, do what a technician does from, you know, like a vet, you know, and she can, you know, feed dogs. She has all these skills, but I'm saying she ain't getting paid for all of them. You know, I mean, she's getting paid to sell that one dog. Yeah. You know. Okay, so transformation was the last step. So you got transactional, you moved to educational, you moved to relational. Now we're moving to transformational. So, transformational, you're meeting a need, and then you make it so there's no longer a problem in that person's life for that. So how much money would it, you know, be worth to that person to get rid of a problem that they don't have to keep reoccurring in their business? So they require transformation. Usually the 3 areas that you make the most is in health, wealth, or in relationships. So if you have that kind of information, you know, for somebody's health, if you change somebody's health that's making $1 billion and, you know, let their health go to crap, you know, how much is that worth to them? It's worth a lot, you know. So when a person requires a transformation, that's the first level of the transformational way of doing business. Second one is you tell the person, I found a transformation in my life. Say, if I find out a way to make money and you ain't making no money, what's that worth to you?
Nothing.
Well, it's
going to be worth
no, I'm talking about the person I'm talking about the person that's not making anyone.
Right. Well, it's worth a lot to you because you want what I have.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. And whether if it's good health or good relationships, you know what I mean? The one thing you got to watch out for is sometimes in these areas, they have what's called gurus. And they think their way is the only way to get to something. Okay. When you start, you know, advertising or marketing that you have the only way to find this type of, you know, just stay away from them.
Yeah, you talking about like the rich dad, poor dad type of.
I mean, he gets around.
That's one way.
Yeah.
He does a lot of real estate.
Yeah, but he's saying that's his only way to like, because he's like, I don't
he don't work. Credit. He don't work for money.
Yeah,
money works for him. That's his way.
But when you say he's
and
a
he
guru,
uses credit. No, he's not a guru. That's what I'm saying. When I'm telling you, when somebody thinks they're a guru, it's like their way is the only way. He doesn't think that way. You know, he thinks his way has worked for him.
Okay. Yeah, that's the best way.
Yeah.
Because everybody have their own way to work for.
Yeah. Okay, so the second thing on transformation is you find a transformation in your life, and basically you have it and you could show that you've been able to do it. So that's the way you kind of deal with that transformationally. I figured it out, and I figured out why I had this transformation, and I can also help you get that transformation. So that's where you want to get to with that person in your business. Okay, if they want a transformation and they see that you've already had it and you have a way to give it to them, then that's the level you want to get to. So if I just sell you a dog and nothing else happens, I just did it transactionally. You know what I'm saying? To make that a way of doing business better is if I sell you a dog and that dog provides you, company, it provides you whatever, for 15 years, and then you come back to me and get another one. And like I said, you tell other people this is where I'm getting them from. And like I said, if you start working more transformationally, that's the way you want to do your businesses, So last thing I want to tell you guys is I did find, we were talking a little bit, I think it might have been Mo actually, the 4 stages of parenting. He asked that last week. It was discipline. It's the first level, 1 to 5. It was training. If you train your children from 5 to 12.
Yep.
And then coaching is from 12 to 18.
And then friendship.
And then friendship's your last one.
I saw that I think it's either I saw like a photo or like
Yeah, I probably
a
put it
reel.
on Facebook or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny though, all this studying I've been doing, all this content I've been consuming, there's a lot of things that actually have 4 levels to things.
Yeah, it's
I know I just put some of the ones down I just remembered.
yeah.
Like our levels of consciousness. Remember, to me, by me, as me, through me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 4 levels of that. Levels of value, we have implementation, unification, communication, imagination. And then stages of business is what we just did: transactional, educational, relational, transformational.
I'm gonna need to take a picture of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
thing.
And then stages of parenting, the discipline, training, coaching, friendship.
You made that. You wrote that twice, isn't it?
Well, I put it here because it was on here. You know what I mean? But I put it down here. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, 4 levels to get rid of your limiting beliefs is clarity, competence, certainty, and community. And then 4 freedoms a business should give you is freedom of time, mobility, expression, and finance. And then really, we talked about stages, of becoming a man. The first 4 are actually physical. So the beloved son, the cowboy stage, the warrior stage, and the lover stage. And then the last 2 are spiritual, which, providing you're a kingdom and you're a sage, But
Those are stages of becoming a man.
yeah, those are the
bottom
6.
Yeah.
But the last 2 are kind of more spiritual. Like I said, if you don't go through these 4 stages, you're going to have a limp in your walk. I'm saying something's going to be wrong. If you don't become a warrior, now you a 40-year-old trying to fight in bars all the time.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah. It's so funny
You
how
gonna
I
get
think
your ass
back on
whooped
my
every
life.
time.
When I first started, I did receive love from my mom. So I was the beloved son from my mom. My dad and mom split up when I was like 3. So I didn't really get the love from my dad. The cowboy stage is when, you kind of test all the different rules and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's your middle school stage. So that's what kids are supposed to do.
Some people do that in high school.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
what
my
I'm saying. If
cowboy-
you don't get
yeah.
through that cowboy
Yeah.
stage, you could be a cowboy at 50.
Yeah,
know
I
what
think
I
my
mean? They're going
cowboy stage
around.
was probably like from 21 to like 23. I didn't.
So when was your warrior stage? When did you learn how to fight and learn how to...
But warrior doesn't mean always fight though.
Well, it could be learning when not to fight too.
That's
But,
what I'm saying.
but you have to have a confidence. I'm telling you, my warrior stage is when I was in high school, and I'm like, man, I'm going to learn karate just to beat anybody up that wants to mess with me. Because people were always, in middle school, they're always yapping at you. But once I went through karate, my whole mindset changed, and then I didn't fight since. So once you're actually confident in yourself, the reason why you fight is you're not confident in yourself.
I mean, I think my warrior stage. I don't know that. Like I think they both happen. My cowboy and warrior stage happen at the same time.
It can, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because
happen,
there was one point I felt like invincible. Like
well, you feel that way when you're young.
I'm not even joking. Like I was like, so me and Kafupi were driving to like New York, right? See a cop by, man, flip the cop. I'm not even
no,
joking.
that's just
I was
crazy.
like,
That's just
I
crazy.
felt like I'm telling you, I
They
felt invincible.
untouchable.
Like I wasn't scared of like nothing. I mean, I'm not scared. Like I'm talking about, I wasn't. Like
know,
it just didn't.
you didn't care
matter.
about the
I didn't
ticket.
care about nothing. Like,
we understand.
What about the lover stage?
my man, I always have my mom and dad in my house, and
No, I'm talking about lover with another female.
female.
When did that start?
Sheesh. I don't know, Liam, kind of young.
You're not young. You're 30.
no, I'm talking about. I say at the time was young.
You say give him 5 years old. So that's
Probably
what-
not.
But
Like,
I'm saying if it starts then you're going to have a limp.
yeah, I think like
You got to
13.
get through these other stages before
I
you
think
go.
that was first before like.
That could be why you still looking
Eddie, man,
around.
Nah, I'm good. I think that the thing is like, when you go through like you're gonna learn stuff through Kensho Satari, right? And the thing is, you don't really appreciate what you have unless like Kensho Satari comes in. So and yeah, there were times where I'm like I talk about like, it's great to have like a second wife or whatnot, but at the time it's like everything that I need is already here. I just needed to like really pay attention to it and uncover it more. So it's not like right now I could care less about that stuff. But before, I mean, like a year ago, I'd be like, yeah, I need somebody else, but
Need
I
some
don't
more
care
meat.
for that right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's like we never really lack access to something. We lack awareness of our access to it.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you already have it, you already have it. It's just how you look at it. It's gonna make a
Absolutely.
difference.
I was looking at a difference
Yeah.
then and I'm looking at a difference now because, events, in life happen that teaches you like what you're over here putting energy in things that you don't need.
So are you in your kingdom stage now? Are you building your kingdom?
I'm building my kingdom.
Okay.
I'm not in my stage, but I'm in the stage of building it right
If
now.
you're building your kingdom, you're in the stage of building it.
kinda
Yeah.
Building, the thing is, when it's done, you're inside.
I
know
hear
what I'm saying?
you,
The
but
kingdom.
you
The
have-
building, like,
Nah.
You have to put the brick by brick
You
to
ain't
build
lying.
something.
Once you start,
Yeah, you can't just be like you're in the front of some land and say, "Oh, I'm in my house." It's not nothing. You
Until
have
you
to
build
put the brick at a time, So that's how I look at it. But
And then the sage stage. That's when you reach back and bring somebody. Tell them about it.
reach back and bring somebody who.
Bring somebody along.
Oh,
what I
okay,
mean?
yeah,
Try to
yeah.
help them out.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
them through these different levels.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
'Cause I hate when I look at like I'm the only person winning. So
yeah.
I look.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
I
when you
look
become
back and just be like,
self-centered and
okay.
you
I see
become
somebody that can
egotistical.
change their life and become something. I don't mind helping them out.
Yeah.